And the Swedish girl and the American couple were complaining about everything, not about the restaurant or the cafe, but things like, I don't like to swim. I don't like that. They were sort of like, nothing was really nice. And in today's episode, how do you do, interwebers and welcome to Stories of My Life. So outside, sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. It's 26 degrees Celsius, which is quite hot, and it's going to be hotter, but 27. So just 1 degree. I'm really good at being on my own. I realise I haven't met anyone physically, well, friends, for over a week now. And I sort of can't say I haven't missed it, but no problems here. So, but I thought enough is enough. So now I'm going to go into the city, and I'm going to go to a coffee house and also maybe to a restaurant. I'll see. Maybe they're both closed because things tend to be closed in July in Stockholm. Well, some of them are. I can't remember the names right now. The coffee shop is called something like La Lula, Shed La La Lu, La Lula La. I don't know. And the other place, I don't know. Anyway, after that, I'm going to get Ulf has ordered something online and it's arrived, so I got to check it out for him, take it out, whatever you say. I got to get that. And I'm also going to go to his apartment and water his plants. And then I sort of have gotten a present, well, a gift, a packet. It's not a gift, I paid for it. There was this sale on ASOS. So I got to go get that later on. And then in the evening, I'm going to do some cooking and also limoncello spritz. If the weather stays nice, that is. Also, since I seem to be not moving these, I hatched a plan. Every time I go down the stairs, I will bring something with me down to the basement. So, here we go, people. Let's start with this majestic thing. Mission accomplished. Oh, God. Oh, God, it's hot. You know what's not in the sky? A cloud. You know, people, I am here far too seldom. Is that even a word to say? Anyway, I need to go there, but not to die. So how about a quick check-in in a second-hand store? Just, you know, to check it out. Regrettably, I've got every issue of this magazine. Every single one. Otherwise, I'd be over the moon right now. I come to the conclusion that I can't have lunch at the vegan place, the cafe, and the vegan restaurant. It had to be either or. So I'm going to start with the cafe. I am now biking on Birger Jarlsgatan, which is quite a posh street. It's one of those border streets. This part is also quite posh, but the area is not so posh. This area is really posh. So I'm in the middle of poshness. I will bike all the way on this street, Birger Jarlsgatan, up to an area called Siberia, because it's so far away, I guess. Well, they thought. It's not officially called Siberia, it's just what we call it. Or what it's called, I guess. I was working in Gothenburg earlier this spring, and I don't know where, I lost a toiletries bag, an orange one from IKEA, and in it I used to have sort of, well, some necessities like cords and chargers and stuff like that, but I also had 2 perfumes in it. One was a comme garçons man that I absolutely loved, and another one was Frederic Malle, Dries van Noten, a really exclusive perfume. So I'm really bummed about that, and I'm really bummed that it took me about 2 weeks to notice that I've lost it. But I'm going to, after this, I think I might visit a perfumery here in Stockholm and buy a perfume. Not the Frederic Malle one, because that Dries van Noten has been discontinued because something, they had it on, I don't know, it's discontinued anyway. I think it's something to do with the rights. You buy the rights to that name for a couple of years. But I'm going to try the Comme des Garçons one. Maybe buy that. And also there's a new one called Zero that I'm going to take a sniff at. We are getting closer. And I am getting hungrier by the minute. Oh, it's so fish. Some of you might remember that I've been on my way to this cafe before with Rudesruten, and we were I think we were 5 minutes late. They closed. So now I'm going to do it on my own because I am that hungry. And I can't remember the name of the cafe. It's sort of La La Lu or Lu La La or A La Lu. A La Lu, maybe. It's something sort of, it sounds like nothing, and then you realize, oh, there's some comedy in here. I can't remember the comedy though. So here it is, and it's called A La Lu. I said it was funny, right? This is something called red beet tea. And we've got beet in here with plant-based milk and water. Hopefully it's good. This is a vegan feta cheese salad.
I like a whole piece of fish. I didn't like it like a stew. And I could eat crab meat, but not like
I was sitting next to and eavesdropping on this really interesting throuple. I think there was this girl from Sweden and her two friends, a couple, I think, from the United States. And it's weird how come American you can always sort of hear what they say. It's sort of, it must be some sort of register. You can sort of 5 tables away, I could still hear them. It's really fascinating, and we Swedes go, brum, 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 brum. You can't even hear when you're talking to us, and American, you sort of like, oh, there's an American somewhere here. Anyway, these people, though I'm not going to point them out, the people, and the Swedish girl and the American couple were complaining about everything, not about the restaurant or the cafe, but things like, I don't like to swim. I don't like that. They were sort of like, nothing was really nice, and they weren't being, They weren't being like, I don't like that. The way I showed you, it's more like sort of, I don't like to swim. It's sort of blah 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 blah. Then talked about how they did not like to swim, and then they didn't like salt, and they were talking about how they did not like salt, too much salt, and then they sort of like one person they didn't like, and then they talked about a nice person, but then they sort of that also went negative because he was away, so they couldn't be with him. It was really interesting, and I thought it was sort of like, it must be so depressing. Well, maybe it's not. If you're really, really into negative shit, you sort of like, you go into negative shit with a positive mind. By the way, absolutely loved my feta cheese and watermelon salad, the bread. That beetroot tea was kind of, it was interesting. I think that's more for winter, when you want something warm, but you don't want tea and you don't want coffee. And I was so full because I decided to buy something sweet because I don't get here every day. So I thought I had to do takeaway of a banana cake. So I have that to look forward to. Now on to perfumes. Yeah, say it 3 times. Perfumes. Here's my impression of the people at the next table. I don't like cold, but I don't like it when it's too hot. I don't mind when it's too hot. I mind when it's too cold. Too cold is really not my ideal time. No, but is too hot that? No. What do you prefer, too hot or too cold? I don't know. I don't like when it's hot. And I was thinking about how they met, because she was sort of a Swedish kind of, you know, selfie kind of fashion girl, and they were sort of grunge. And I think they met at I thought I broke my bike, but just ran over something. The fun thought how they met was sort of like anonymous complainers, but I don't think so. I think either they met when she was in USA and they sort of visit her now, and she sort of is being very compliant because she thinks, oh, I can live with them when I go back to USA. Or they met somewhere else abroad and she's being very compliant, very nice to them because she still thinks that, well, I can live with them when I get there. And they sort of like just, you know, live with her now. They moved in. Thank you for watching and for liking, commenting, subscribing and following. It really helps, and something to do with the internet and the algorithm, I think. So thank you so much.